Welcome to the one, the only, Monte.
Wow.
And the Pharoah. Yeah, buddy.
Wow. What an intro, Mr. Miller. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Monte and the Pharoah every Thursday here on Village Connection Radio, Facebook Live from 8:05 to 9 p.m. I'm Mike Monte. This is
the Pharoah.
And in our wonderful new studio, we've got Pete.
Yo.
All right, Petey. And we got Pete? Jerry from Fruit Loops. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us today.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm great.
And manning the machine is...
Holla back, boys.
Holla back.
You look familiar. Are you from Smithtown?
I am from Smithtown, and I'm not Ecuadorian. I'm Vietnamese. Oh, hello.
Okay. Holy import, Batman.
Hello.
So we had a long week. Jimmy, what do you got going on, brother?
I've just been getting back into society, which is making me, it's a little nauseating, but someone's got to do it. So I've been pretty tired and keeping very busy, getting the band, getting ready for an appearance on a kick-ass program.
Well, speaking of the band, your band, Wisteria Hall, will be making their first appearance in quite a while on Chasing Fruit Loops on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yes, which I'm highly excited for.
Can we go one further? This is Wisteria Hall making its debut.
Really?
Yeah.
It's your
because
debut?
this is an offshoot of Rock Stars of America, which was a previous adventure of mine and my partners.
So not only are you a pro wrestling aficionado,
okay,
you are a rock and roll star.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Does that mean I could be on Rock Stars with YouTube?
Miller and the Rockstar?
Can I be on that?
No.
Oh man.
We don't have guests, my friend.
Oh man.
Can I be on Miller and the Rockstar?
No.
What?
Yeah.
No, of course the princess could always be. She was one of the OVs.
No favoritism going on here.
The original villagers, one of the OVs.
So wait a minute, I'm one of the village people. What are you talking about?
Which one? I'm the cowboy.
I'm the burnout.
I want to clear some air.
Yes,
being the number one broadcast for professional wrestling here on Long Island.
True.
I usually carry an unsweetened iced tea, and Miller can't even seem to come up with his own idea, so he's got to bring it on.
I
Miller
actually did.
In the crowd. A copycat.
What a copycat.
He's a copycat.
And the sick part of it, I just drank out of it. It's like literally 7 hours old.
That's pretty gross.
It's pretty disgusting. The lemon's still fresh, though. God bless it.
You should have told me. I would have brought you coffee.
And you gave me a brand new nickname today, which I greatly appreciate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, Jen was talking about, Jen Runyon, my co-host, was talking about her going to Oman next week, and she could see Iran from across the water. Okay. So I made a comment about the Ayatollah, and I've now christened Mike Monte as the Ayatollah of Gabagola.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Gabagola.
Oh, my God.
Gabagola.
Yes.
I didn't realize you were from Gabagola. Wow.
All right, well, anyway.
All right.
So last
week you were from parts unknown.
I don't know.
Go on. What do you got for me?
Last week we had Beretta.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Cool guy. Different than Greg Valentine. Everyone's different. I found some things very revealing that he gave. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes next, because it seems to be up in the air where he's going to go as far as... he just seems very content with where he's at, and he's an excellent wrestler. So,
Steve, did you catch the Beretta interview?
I was here.
Were you here?
Yes, I was. I was sitting on the couch.
There's no way he was here.
Oh, that's right. You were on the couch.
I was sitting on the couch. No, I like the guy.
So what are your thoughts? Yeah.
I thought that a guy like him, a young guy like him, is great for wrestling. I mean, they need more like him, because there's a guy who's committed to it, who's obviously put in his time at the gym.
It seemed to me he was very responsible.
He was very responsible about it, and, after watching, some who aren't responsible...
Do you mean Marty Jannetty?
I'm not saying anything because
I don't know.
Because God forbid, I don't want to get pitched out again on video.
Stop it,
You're
Steven.
just relentless.
I'm just relentless. Stop it.
No, wait a minute. You know what? I'm giving too much credit. Can I redo? Please.
Yes.
Check. Teresa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
You know what I thought was funny though? And it was
it's like an every week ritual.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I bet you wish you never came here.
You
Why?
Marty. You earned it. Anyway, What I thought was very funny was your reaction when Beretta had no groupie stories.
Oh, that was terrible.
What did you expect from it? That's why I thought it was called. He's different than other. Everyone's different.
Jerry, a young, hot wrestler, built like a brick
good-looking guy.
shithouse,
Absolutely.
good-looking guy.
Sure.
And I asked him
32 years old.
I asked him to tell some stories about some ring rats that hang around
Groupies in the wrestling business.
And all his response is, "Man, all I want to do is wrestle." What are your
I thought
thoughts
his
on
response
that?
was good though. He said,
I think he's fucking gay.
"Oh my god!"
Now we call Beretta gay.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. That was
we
Jerry.
did not.
Thank you.
No, that was all my own doing. I think he's fucking gay. You asked the question.
I actually
Disclaimer,
thought.
Mike. Disclaimer. The views
Beretta,
of Jerry
no.
are
Beretta,
not the
no.
views of Monte and the Pharoah.
I
The
actually
views
thought.
of chasing Fruit Loops are not part of Monte and the Pharoah, our Village Connection Radio.
Oh my god! You get the station off the hook too.
Why? No. We represent you. We will.
No,
we
not
will
Jerry's
never,
comments about Beretta.
Nah, Jerry's an OV. She's an original village.
All right.
So she's
an
covered.
OV.
An OV kid.
I like it, man.
Anybody
Original
working on that
Village.
Pretty cool.
CHS logo, by the way?
Oh, the crackhead station.
Got
Yeah.
anybody working on that logo? The CHS logo?
No, please.
come on.
But
Please.
speaking of CHS,
Come on.
Yes.
August 23rd in studio, signing autographs here in Rockstar Studios is none other than WWE former superstar, the genius, Lanny Poffo, brother of Randy Macho Man Savage. He'll be signing autographs from 7 to 8, and then at 8:05 he comes here live in studio.
On
It's gonna
Monte
be
and the
Monte
Pharaoh.
and the Pharaoh.
That's
gonna be
awesome.
unbelievable.
Well, hold on. It's not over yet. That's
not over.
Sunday in a special edition of Monte and the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Attitude Era.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Hello, Monty.
Val Venus comes into studio,
Dang.
signing autographs, and another special interview with Monte and the Pharaoh from 3 o'clock to 3:45, and then signing autographs from 3:45 till 5 o'clock.
And you don't ask any of the WWE superstars to do anything humiliating, like make food or anything.
Well,
like
speaking of that,
My God.
Pharaoh, can you tally up now? What would the score be for being that we are women? Hold on, we are the number one broadcast for pro wrestling here on the island and most of the universe. And on top of that, this is probably the place where you get all when you come to our events. You're not just like getting an autograph and getting shuffled off. You're hanging with these guys.
it's about the fans.
It's
That's
about
what I
the
love
fans.
about the events you guys had. I mean, I was at the one with Shane Douglas and Dr. D and Dominic DiNucci, and you guys, not only did you treat the fans well, you actually got them food.
Oh, yeah,
like there's
absolutely.
actually like pizza and all sorts of other stuff around for the fans.
And toilet paper.
And toilet paper.
Yeah. And no, but I mean, rather than stand around like a bunch of idiots while some guy makes it about him, I've been to it. And folks, I could say, and I'm being totally fair about this, it was about the people who showed up. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about the station. It was about the people who paid good money to come and meet their heroes.
That's right.
And that's what it's about to me.
I got to tell you, we had Dr. D. David Schultz, Shane Douglas, Gary Michael Capetta, Dominic DiNucci, Greg Valentine recently.
The Hammer.
Right? The Hammer was here with a great interview.
Yep.
And some other guy. So,
I don't even recall
what would the score?
other guy.
What would the score be right now?
Well,
Farrah?
it's getting really like
It's like a blowout.
It's getting fucking
It's
lopsided.
embarrassing.
It's something
It is.
like 15-2.
It's not Nationals Mets,
I don't
but
want to be
it's
too specific because I really enjoy watching a kindergarten level scramble to figure out what I'm talking about.
yes.
Because that's what we're dealing with here, a kindergarten level as far as our opponent goes. Or
There's no opponent.
Imaginary
You guys have no opponent.
There is no opponent.
There's
well,
no-
he's an imaginary opponent in his own universe, so
Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah,
go-
there's a cap gun and then there's a Hiroshima bomb.
That's right.
You
Bam.
guys are the
Put
Hiroshima
yourself in
bomb.
the oven, please.
So we got a lot of things.
Set it on high.
It
Yes.
doesn't fit.
That's very true. I'll be a big ass oven. What do we got?
So
I love this oven. This oven and I are very close.
for pro wrestling, we had a long week last week. We lost some iconic legends.
Yeah.
Not that one is more important than the other,
No.
but we lost Nikolai Volkov, former WWE Hall of Famer.
And
Well, actually, a Hall of
as
Famer,
it's
I'm
being
sorry.
revealed over the years, a real sweet gentleman of a man. We had a weird encounter with him, if I can talk about it just
Sure.
a little bit. we had gone last year to a big wrestling convention. You probably know the name quicker than I would, but it was a big wrestling convention. And we were looking for, who were we looking for? There was someone that was supposed to be there, but he
Diamond
left.
Dallas Page.
We were looking for DDP, but he left early. And this was at the end of the day, and we were very burnt out. We wanted to get out of there, but we were looking for DDP, and he wasn't there. But in his place, sitting there, was Nikolai Volkov. And I remember he looked at us like, with a very inviting look, like, you want to say hello to me. But we were so pressed to leave that, we left. And it stayed with me. It's bothered me for a long time that we didn't, get to talk to him, because I sensed a good soul, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Okay? Ironically, he was scheduled to hopefully be coming on our show.
Yeah.
We were basically maybe a few weeks away from making that happen, or looking to see if that could be possible. So it just stinks. People don't realize what a great villain this guy was. They needed a police escort when him and the Iron Sheik, Pool, USA. When these two guys were villains back in the 80s, their heat was so major that they needed police escorts to leave the ring, from the garden, to get to their car, to get to the airport. They were that hated. People were really hating their guts. And that's what these guys get paid to do. So at the end of the day, a Hall of Famer, a great human being, entertained us through our teens, entertained us through our 20s, God bless this guy. This guy was great. And I think it stinks. I think he was only 70.
And, he's our prayers go out to his family, and also Evan Ginsberg, who is on Sundays from 11 to 1 every Sunday for the Evan Ginsberg show.
Great show.
Had a very personal relationship with Volkov, and Evan's taken it pretty hard. So we're thinking about you, Evan. We thought about you when it happened, and I think Evan's going to have a special show in September in recognition of Nikolai Volkov, so you wouldn't want to miss that.
And can I say this, for whatever this is worth, I'm a vocalist, okay? I thought he had a great voice. It's just me.
Did you?
Commanding baritone voice that I think that if you really listen to it, he probably could have done some serious opera. He had a seriously strong baritone voice, and I used to love when he sang the national anthem. I was probably the only one, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
Miller, do you remember Volkov at all?
I do. I don't remember. You know what? Like I said, I'm not nearly the aficionados that you guys are.
Yeah,
I used to
Wait,
always.
hold on. You see, steals the iced tea. Now he's going to use my words too. It's
What,
like,
aficionado?
Yeah, really.
It's actually an English word. I'm a writer, bro.
No, I understand, but now you pull it out of your bag, and your bag of tricks. Before you're now in the crowd, you'll be drinking iced tea and saying aficionado, and he'll be wearing one of these sporting
No, my head's
American
too.
flag.
I got Irish.
If
I
I
got
see-
Irish head. My head's too big. I can't fit a bandana
If I
around
see
my
him in a
head.
muscle
Wait.
shirt,
Irish
forget it.
head, but Irish pee-pee? Or
No.
Stop it!
I'm half Italian. I'm half
thank you.
Italian, half Irish, bro.
There we go. So wait a minute, it's Harry?
Please.
Wait a minute, no. He's
You went to
please.
balls too.
What's that?
My God!
Oh, man.
3.5. 3.5.
From the floor?
Lord!
No,
So
so
Volkov.
Oh, please.
I remember him. I mean, that
was.
was a time when I was away from it. So, but I do remember watching some of it on. I actually caught his Hall of Fame speech, and it was kind of awesome
Yeah.
when he got inducted. And I was like, "There's a guy who played a heel his whole life, and who literally gave one of the most." I don't even know how to say it. Like genuinely heartfelt speeches about. And there's a guy who got treated like crap by the crowds and was thanking him up and down. He loved
Because
him.
he realized it's a shit.
You know.
But you
it's
know what's
just-
funny with Volkov?
Yes.
I never really hated him growing up, right? I just like
Interesting.
he was Russian and he was annoying,
Which
He
is
was, to me, he was
awesome.
really annoying, but
Yes.
My
never
adopted
hated him.
father is Russian, so it was. I didn't care.
You know
I
what's
was
funny
like,
though?
okay.
Volkov doesn't get enough credit. Like, we remember him during that cartoon era, right? With
Yes.
Hogan and everything else. He actually had a pretty solid career when
did.
San Martino was champion,
He did.
right?
He did.
And like a lot of people don't look at that back then.
Right. See, I'm the only guy. I mean, I used to root for the heels when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the way I roll.
Right.
But like, I was the only guy who, of all my friends, who actively rooted against Bruno Sammartino. Like, I was the biggest superstar Billy Graham fan because I was like, hey, Bruno Sammartino's kind of a dick. Like, in comes the superstar, and he's like, he's parading a little
flamboyant
bit.
I
colorful and.
I never thought that about Bruno until he actually called into your show. Then,
Well,
I
the ghost
understood
of Bruno called
the
it
ghost
to
of
my-
Bruno-
The spirit of Bruno.
Yeah, but he was kind of a dick.
Was he?
Yeah, he was
I thought
kind of
he was
mean.
hilarious. What are you talking about?
He was kind of mean to me. I have to be
was
honest.
mean, yeah,
Yes, he was kind of
Really?
mean.
She
And you
wasn't
know,
straight up
it's
Bruno.
funny because somebody like was so offended by that.
That they threw themselves in their own oven?
No, he said, you know, what do you think of a radio show?
Please throw
What do
yourself in the oven,
what do you
please.
think of a radio show where they make fun of the dead to Bruno Sammartino? I think they're crackheads. Yeah.
Shut up, douchebag.
I'm so sick of
Not you.
bitches.
Oh.
Go
Bitches.
down there and whack him with a chair. already.
Nah,
I would
it's
love
not
to see
worth
him do
it. It's a
that.
waste of a
You said you had a
chair.
chair in
Listen.
the back of the truck.
Hell yeah, I got
got his
you.
name
Where
on
would
it and
the
everything.
entertainment be? We'd have no
Yeah,
entertainment.
that's
Yeah.
true.
No,
That
we
is
would
true.
do it
Ourselves after
because
that.
I wouldn't hit him so hard that he would, like, you know.
Princess,
Oh, I-
Well, you take it
Princess,
slow. Oh, okay.
You know,
Princess
that's what
Jerry's
I-
like ready to go kung fu
Yeah, she is. She's
bitches.
about to kung fu.
She's
you know,
about
in
to
fact,
kung
on
fu.
your Throwback Thursday, I was a little disappointed. I was trying to get you to play kung fu fighting.
By Carl
I
Douglas?
love that song.
By Carl Douglas.
Yeah.
I know. I actually hate that song.
Those
I ran
are
out and
some
bought that on K-Tel.
bastards,
Jesus.
But
Then again,
Volkov,
I'm
I
Asian.
have to say though, just to go back to it, I was that kid who rooted for the heels in a way because I was like, you know, there's something to them. Whereas the good guys or whatever the baby faces
Right.
as
Can
they
be
call
bland.
them,
They
they
can
can be very bland.
very
Like
bland.
watching guys jump in with the
Especially back
smile
then.
on,
Especially
with the
back then.
smile on their face, like
Sure.
you know, train, eat your
Sick of-
vitamins, say your prayers.
Wait,
Screw
that's
you,
Hogan.
bro.
He was colorful.
I know, but
Wait.
I'm just saying that
Well, I don't
attitude,
fucking do it. Don't you mess with
that
Hogan.
attitude,
tell you
I did
something,
not
Ella.
care for.
Well, if that wasn't enough, we also lost Brian
this is-
Christopher,
this is-
one half of Too Cool. This was of natural causes. Mr. Christopher was arrested for a DWI and hung himself in his jail cell.
Oh, Maron.
And this is the son of Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, dear God.
That's horrible.
This is
Young man, too, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
46.
46.
Jesus.
Your thoughts on Brian Christopher
I'm
Pharoah?
going to do my best to not, I kind of lost it a little bit with Volkov, so forgive me. Brian Christopher was part of a very successful tag team during the Attitude Era, and I wish someone would have reminded him of the good things he did during his career. Maybe he didn't hear it enough. I don't know. But Too Cool was an awesome team, very popular during the Attitude Era. To be honest, I wasn't particularly a fan of theirs, but so what? What the hell's that mean? It just doesn't take away from their success. They were very over. They had Rikishi with them. They became even more over. I always felt that Brian was almost screwed in a way from the start because he was the son of Jerry the King Lawler. And, that is a really, Steven, that's a hard shot, Mike. That's a hard shadow to freaking live under. And
That
I think
that
it
happens
was-
in a lot of sports.
got to
I
him,
mean,
I don't know.
in a lot of things that happens. I mean, Jerry the King Lawler, he was the king.
He's unbelievable.
He's a
on the top
legend.
tier,
I mean, that's
right?
like
I mean,
being Mickey Mantle Jr. What do you
Something
do?
like
I
that.
mean,
I mean,
how do
yeah.
you compete?
I don't know.
And you're always constantly compared to someone who was a trailblazer.
Yep.
So it's not cool.
And I wonder, Mike, do you think that maybe he was, I don't know the answer to this. We could speculate, and that's all we're doing right now. But do you think he was held back from ever getting his own promos? Because something tells me he probably could have talked like his dad, or at least not be a clone, but what, there's no verbal skills going on there? I don't remember him ever being afforded the chance to really do the mic. And this is the son of a guy like Jerry Lawler can talk. What are we talking here? It's got to run in the family a little. I never saw him get that opportunity, so I wonder if that's part of what drove him to. I never lived up to my dad, or I don't know.
I always felt like Brian Christopher was the joke of.
Really?
I'm not trying to insult him,
okay.
and this you may be right. He was
I took him more seriously than Scotty.
But both of them were kind of jokey, right?
Yes,
right.
If you're saying they were a lighthearted gimmick, absolutely.
Right,
Were they there to entertain and amuse more so than?
So I always think this about
Technically
either.
wrestle?
I also
Yes.
think this about actors or so Jerry. Maybe you can answer this, right? So attractive actors who are comedians, and they go out on a town. Do women take comedians as serious as they would be someone that's not a comedian? I guess.
Yes and no. Yes. Some women do like guys that are, funny and, or they like the guys that are more serious, that are talking, the buku.
Right.
Okay.
You know, it goes either way.
Because I always think about comedians that go out on towns or and and they're regular guys or regular women, and they go meet people, and they're funny. Oh, they're so funny.
I mean,
but
honestly,
they're never taken serious.
Honestly, I think, excuse me, I think that touring comedians, are a lot like, in my opinion, the lifestyle. If they choose to take this lifestyle, I think that touring comedians are a lot like touring wrestlers and touring musicians. I do believe that they do have their little groupies, some of them, that do follow them or are very impressed with the fact that they are a successful comedian performing on stage. This is
So you're a big Jim Morrison fan, right? You
I'm
always
a
have been.
huge Jim Morrison
So, like,
fan.
when Morrison was out on the road, you just, like, watch videos of the guy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is, this is a real serious,
Yes.
attractive,
Yes.
manly man,
This
right?
was,
and
this guy had some aura,
and
Jim
then,
Morrison.
then you got, I don't know, Bismarcky, who did,
What are you doing?
No, but I'm just saying, right?
Holy,
girl, you got what I need.
Wow.
Right? It's like,
Wow, that's a segue.
I guess to me, it's like
I guess it's different strokes
Brian
for different
Christopher.
folks.
His father was such a legend, and he was in this lighthearted, comedic, jokey role.
Understood.
And after
Why do you
after
think
the year,
Cody Rhodes told him "F you" with Stardust?
Sure.
I am a Rhodes. I am Dusty Rhodes' son. F you and your stupid gimmick. And that's why Cody Rhodes is kicking ass right
so he
now.
got himself out of that
He escaped.
whole
And he had a tough choice to make. Do I take the money? And Vince has got the money.
Mm-hmm.
Do I take Vince's money? Or do I look in the mirror with pride? And he actually looks in the mirror with pride. This guy deserves to be
I would take the
rewarded.
money.
I think I'd take the
I
money.
understand that. You know what, though? Cody Rhodes did the right thing, and he's got a very comfortable living, and he's making more than $1 million bucks a year on the independent scene without Vince doing what his father would be proud of. You can't put a price on that.
I believe,
Sorry.
though, also,
can't.
whether it's
You know?
jokey or not, I believe also the times dictate
Sure.
in a way what's jokey, what's not.
Sure.
Whereas Jerry Lawler was a trailblazer in a time where it was very serious, where it was wrestling.
This is true. This was before it was
the cartoon
blurred, the
era,
line.
before
Right.
the line was blurred. And I think it becomes that, like
Yep.
a guy like Bruno Sammartino, and God rest him, I'm not picking on him, but a guy like Bruno Sammartino would be considered the most vanilla guy in the world right now.
Well, it would depend on how
in this era.
It would depend on how he's packaged. I mean, if you came
No,
to
I mean,
me,
if he was packaged the way he was at the time.
Oh, I understand that. Like, but if you came to me with Bruno Sammartino today, like the young Bruno.
Yes.
We've seen pictures of the young Bruno.
Yeah, that guy was
my
badass.
God, what a truck.
Yes.
I would basically put him with Paul Heyman and let Paul do the talking for him.
But you know
like
what?
he does for Brock.
I'm going to go with Miller on this, right? I don't think Sammartino would translate. Backlund wouldn't translate.
Backlund certainly wouldn't
I'll
translate.
even go, we've discussed this numerous times. Andre the Giant would not translate.
Probably not.
He wouldn't. He'd
Probably
be too
not
slow
today.
for the fans
That's right.
nowadays.
Correct. Everything's
His
changed.
mic skills were
true.
non-existent.
He could be, he was very hard to understand.
But my God, he was so great during his time, and he was so.
No, he
perfect for
was.
that
He was
time.
brilliant. I mean,
Oh,
I
God,
can
he's
remember.
Andre the Giant. What are we talking here?
I can remember being
You
a
know?
little kid, and when they said, "Oh, Andre the Giant's coming on," you
you
sat up
you
because
went
you were like,
crazy,
"Holy
yeah.
crap,
Well, the
this
problem-
guy's
you know what the
huge."
problem is that it went from being a sport that they tried to sell to the public during the 70s and even in through the 80s as real. This is real. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden in the 90s, this is not real
Sports
anymore.
entertainment.
And we're letting you know that it's sports
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, but it
when
reverted.
the sport
It
becomes
reverted.
a show.
Yeah, but it reverted
things
back.
change.
It reverted back.
Stupid kids were trying to do the
Well,
movie.
me and my friends found out very early that it couldn't be real when we decided to have our own battle royal in Patrick Caroche's backyard, and it turned into like wait a minute,
Get off my
wait a minute, how come superstar Billy Graham got up from this and I can't?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I got in so much trouble because I pile drived my
Yes,
brother.
yes.
I gave him a pile driver. I was 12. He's 9. I dumped him on his skull. He gets up. His face was tomato red. He's screaming.
Dude,
I got
I
in so much trouble.
I got
Oh my
knee
God.
dropped by John Stanzioni, and I right in the chest, and I was
Names
like,
left and right. Did these guys graduate?
I'll tell you what.
yes,
Oh, okay.
they
I'll
did.
tell you
That's
what.
good.
Yes, they did.
Our friend Rich's brother, right?
Yes.
We were.
Richie Vaughn?
Yeah, remember? So Matt, we were gonna wrestle. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try this for the first time. So I
Yes.
went to my mother's cabinet. I got like a handful of salt.
This is going to be bad.
Right?
You use foreign objects right away.
Right away.
Unbelievable.
You went
Fuji on him?
I went Fuji on him.
Fuji.
But the bad part was I didn't realize what real salt does to people's eyes.
Yes, it burns them.
This dude, this dude fell on the floor screaming like a maniac, and I'm like, I just burnt this kid's eyes out. Oh my god!
Do you remember the first time we actually held our own wrestling card at Harley Avenue?
Yeah.
We had Mike in the main event against Billy the Giant Werner.
Yes.
It was the greatest thing, and I'm his manager, of course, because I'm the little guy who's always causing trouble. So basically, he's wrestling him, right? And he turns to me, he's like, "Throw me the pen." I throw him a freaking pen, and he jams it into the guy's throat.
Nice.
I'm 15 years old, and I was the ref too. I'm the special ref. And I go,
remember?
The
This is a
winner!
true story too.
Oh, was he
remember
pissed?
the time I was wrestling Matt Rosenthal in the main
Yes.
event, and I broke his
You broke
wrist.
Nice.
I took his wrist and I kept
snapped
pulling
it?
it back
And he was a
until he
good
wouldn't
wrestler.
quit.
And
He
he
wouldn't
was a
quit,
good-
and I had to break it.
He was a
Yeah.
good wrestler too. He was a
He's a
strong
great
kid.
wrestler, great wrestler.
Strong and a great wrestling fan. I remember that.
But he
about
lost.
him.
He lost.
He lost too
Just
bad.
like everybody.
And
You
I was
all
the referee
lose.
for that too.
When you face me, you
Not that there's a
lose.
conspiracy going on.
If you got a giant ponytail, you lose.
Oh,
you lose.
God. Giant ponytail, little weed.
If you wear a cowboy hat and a chain, you
What was
lose.
that, Jimmy?
A giant ponytail, little weed.
A cowboy hat and a chain?
Yeah.
You lose.
You lose.
Cowboy hat and a chain?
You snooze,
No, the
you
chain is
lose.
in the kitchen.
The chain.
You got that wrong.
You broke a guy's wrist?
Simply because,
Yeah. He wouldn't quit.
You know
I
what?
gotta give him credit. He wouldn't quit.
He was screaming too.
Screaming in pain.
Ah,
Screaming in
dude,
pain.
give up! Ah, the guy!
Screaming in
no!
pain.
It was unbelievable.
That's
God, no.
awesome.
It was
Oh,
great.
he was great.
These are true stories. These are
Nothing but-
not
I know.
fake stories.
I know.
It is the truth. What about, backyard wrestling? You were mentioning that before,
Oh,
Jerry.
yeah.
Backyard wrestling became really big in the late 90s thanks to ECW, right?
yeah.
So all of a sudden, all these kids are killing each other. Dude, we were doing that in
Yeah,
1982.
we were the original backyard.
Okay,
dude.
a fella named Vinny Ferraro says,
Vinny, what up, buddy?
he says, I remember the salt thing.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Vinny, thanks for joining, man.
And Jeff Rumplich
Yeah,
says,
man.
I'm glad I didn't live in your
You know,
neighborhood.
now that-
What was that? Who?
Jeff Rumplich, the rumper,
There goes Jeff.
says, I'm glad I didn't live in your neighborhood.
now that Vinny chimed in, so Vinny's a pretty successful business owner.
Is he?
Nice.
Cool.
But I met Vinny, and not to, because we got wrestling to talk about, but
Sure.
I met Vinny in soccer, and his father was my head coach.
Okay.
I got to tell you, his father's passed a while back, but Mr. Pharoah, I still call him Mr. Pharoah in my mind, and when I speak about him, true mentor in my life, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. So for a kid that used to break people's wrists, I obviously had mental problems, I guess. He kind of
Kind of reeled you in a little
reeled
bit.
me in a lot,
Grounded.
and a really great guy. So Vinny, shout out to Dad.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
All right, so let's hit it, brother. Big news in the WWE. The women's Evolution has arrived, and they have their own pay-per-view in Nassau Coliseum in New York.
Are you going?
Oh, you know I'm going.
You know he's going. He's going to bring me too.
But you have to stay 150 yards from Alexa Bliss,
Oh,
don't you?
you get the order of protection.
The order of protection has been applied.
Ridiculous.
Yes, I got it in the mail the other
After
day.
all that ass kissing, all you got was a piece of paper.
But
That's hilarious.
Charles Kaufman from Ticket Talk, who has the show on Tuesdays,
Yes.
actually said that he has tickets to Alexa's locker room
Get-
for the slow sum of $10,000. I'm thinking about spending it.
You probably will.
You will, and you will.
Cash in charge.
I will tell you one
I
thing.
can use $10,000.
You're right.
Yeah, but you're not Alexa
Oh,
Bliss.
here we go.
Yeah, but I'm still cute.
Yeah, you are, but you're not Alexa Bliss. There's not many Alexa Blisses out
Alexa
there.
Bliss is going to increase that order of protection.
You got muscles too, but
300 days, 500 feet.
one thing though, this is proof, and you could look.
Yes.
I challenge anyone. Go look at Alexa Bliss's pictures with fans.
Yes.
And she's very standoff with every fan.
Yeah, she is.
Around me?
Not with you.
Does she have her arm around me?
Dude, it's like
Come
the two of you grew
on!
up together or
She's
something.
my girl.
Are you one of
it's a
those
little
like?
strange,
And
but
you
I
have
have
Are
to
you-
go see your girl.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got her one step short of being trademarked. Oh my God!
Holy-
Turn over! Bing! You're
Yeah,
out of
it's
your
got
mind. You
the
really
got the
are.
cattle brand.
Oh my God! You know, it's just like the women's evolution. If you say it often enough, you believe it.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I don't buy it. They
Wow.
keep ramming the women's evolution
Well,
down
this
my
is-
throat.
this is the
and I'm not a
payback.
sexist pig. I just think that it's over the top.
Well,
Stop already.
this is the payback. This
right.
is Vince McMahon and WWE trying to make it right.
This isn't even Vince
For when
McMahon,
they
this
went
is
over-
Stephanie.
No, trying to make it right for when they went over
What,
to
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia?
Arabia, because they caught a lot of heat, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
that they couldn't have the girls there working, the women. I'm sorry.
Dude, you know what? I can't disagree with either of you more than that.
Yes.
Well, I actually respect what Vince did there. He was honoring some of the country's
I'm
ways. You
leaving.
can't just say screw you.
Listen, women's wrestling
that's
right
religion over
now
there.
is carrying their program.
No, it's not.
By far.
Out of
it
here.
is.
You're out of your mind. You better pass what you smoked before. I want some. You're out of your mind.
You know what? Let me ask you something, Pharoah. When Ronda Rousey shows up on the screen, are you engaged?
I have 2 words usually when I see Ronda Rousey. Big mole. Right? There.
If she comes down here and punches you,
Moly,
I
moly,
wanna
moly.
I'm a huge Ronda Rousey fan. But by the way, she
I'm
could
not.
kick my ass in a microsecond. I'm not delusional. You know what
I
I mean?
changed the
Ronda,
channel.
you rule. I'm actually a Ronda Rousey fan. As far as the women, this is why, and I've told you before, this is why I have a problem with the evolution that they're ramming down our throat. Let's really name who deserves to be mentioned as great women wrestlers that you tune in for.
Sure.
Alexa Bliss,
Okay.
Charlotte Flair,
Yep.
Ronda Rousey. I
Right.
love all of them. They're great.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Give me someone else.
Sasha
Asuka?
Banks.
No, I do
China?
not. I do not. I loved China. China was the
Yeah.
best. But China, you know
I-
what? China's rarefied air. So that's a whole nother story.
I think Sasha Banks is worthy of
not
that.
enough for me to like go running to the set like, wow, what a
Oh, I wouldn't run to the set
You know
anyway.
what, Pete, who
No, that's
catches
true.
wrestling sparingly, right?
Sparingly,
You
yeah.
just said, hey, who's that redhead that was on
Yeah.
the Irish
Oh, he
chick,
likes
right?
Becky.
But
Sure.
look,
Sure.
right? That's
Becky
you didn't
Lynch.
ask me who's that big guy with the giant beard and
No,
the briefcase,
no,
right?
It's the babe.
Who is
Right,
the
you asked who's the babe.
Maybe
Who is
he
the
was
giant
tuning
guy
in
with the
for
beard and the
boner
briefcase?
factor. Maybe he's not tuning in to watch wrestling. Maybe he just tuned in to see if there was
So
something that
okay,
could give him a
so I
rise.
challenge you
don't
guys
know.
with this.
Challenge me,
All right.
Monty.
Another challenge?
Here we go.
What the hell is this? Go on.
Vince McMahon gets the company from his father.
Yes.
From Daddy, yes.
From Daddy.
Stop.
No, he
Daddy.
gets it from
What is
Daddy.
this? All of a sudden, Daddy, can I have to go, Daddy? No. Daddy.
So he gets it from Dad.
Yes.
Okay.
And he decides he's gonna take over the wrestling world, so he believes in WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
We get it.
Got it.
What started WrestleMania?
What do you mean?
Tell me what started
We've been
WrestleMania.
through this.
What
And
was-
this is the fact. This is why
Make
women's
this count,
wrestling
though.
has caused some of the biggest turns in wrestling history.
Their importance in this history
Well, go
is
ahead.
absolutely
Tell the story,
underrated.
Pharaoh. Go ahead.
Well, it goes something like this, and
well,
remember,
enlighten
folks,
Mr. Miller.
Remember, folks, this is coming from somebody who you think doesn't have respect for the women's division. I know my history. Okay,
So go ahead.
The women are very, very, very important to the history of the WWE because WrestleMania 1, without Cyndi Lauper and Wendy Richter and Moolah,
right.
is only half the magic. I'm being fair because the other half of the magic of WrestleMania 1 was Hulk, Roddy, and Mr. T. So basically, the women, this is important though. I'm trying to give
Okay.
the math of this, to be honest, where people, most critics of women wrestling feel like, maybe they're 10% of the big picture. If you really want to get technical, on the whole platform that Vince McMahon has built his company off, WrestleMania, go to the foundation, go to the beginning, it's 50-50. The women were just as important as the men that started this train. So think about that for a while, folks.
What about the Glow Girls?
That was a whole other story. That was actually a offshoot and a direct result of what I just spoke about.
And Jerry, you're
And
100%
very
right.
successful. I haven't seen the Netflix show. You tell me it's
The
amazing.
Netflix show,
Have you seen the Netflix show?
Season 1, Season 2. If you have an opportunity to just power watch that stuff, some of the best television I've ever seen.
I'm gonna definitely check it out. Now, for those
I have
of
to
you,
go and spend $7.99 a month again.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's well worth it.
I watched a few episodes. It was pretty good.
It's very good.
Pretty
And the way
good.
they put the 80s music in there,
cool.
Yes.
incredible.
They have that. That's very
it's
cool.
incredible.
And let me tell you, that costs a fortune.
It must cost a fortune,
It costs
right?
a fortune, the rights.
I will tell you, we talked about this too, right? Glow and Karate Kid, Cobra Kai. You might have to get YouTube Red too,
That's on
because
YouTube.
that is so worth it too. It's crazy.
I don't own a TV.
Nice.
You don't need it. You got a
That's
computer,
awesome.
right?
That is awesome.
What was that?
You got a computer, right?
No, I balanced my phone on the door.
There you go. Good enough. Good enough.
Jim Morrison used to recommend we push our TVs to the curb.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah, look what
I
happened to
want to
him.
make a rule. You're the station manager here.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Ralph Macchio's name is never to be mentioned after this.
You just
moment.
mentioned
brought
him.
him up.
After this moment.
Oh my God.
Okay, I don't want to
Bagel
ever hear it
shop.
again. It brings back too bad of feelings.
Oh my God, plain or sesame seed?
It's hurt.
You lost
The
a
bagel
girlfriend to the
Plain or
karate
sesame
kid.
seed.
You lost a girlfriend to the karate
Would
kid
you stop? What's going on?
over an
It's
everything
actually a
bagel.
true story, but you said you don't want it
I don't
mentioned,
want-
and then
it
you
hurts.
bring it up.
Then
Wait
you
a
bring it
minute,
up.
wait a
No,
minute.
because you
Unbelievable.
got Cool Cats, which is on
Pinups, Cool
Wednesdays
Cats, and
from
Comics,
7 to
yes.
8. Great show.
Great
he
show.
doesn't shut his mouth about it, right? He talks about it all the time. His girlfriend talks about it. You talk about it. You gave me Gabagoo as
His
a nickname.
girlfriend?
Gabagool. The
Gabagool.
Ayatollah of Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Hey, Gabagool. Some
I don't know
Gabagool.
nothing
And then
about this.
once the plumbers get hold of it, I'll never hear the end of it either.
Bill Byrne literally said Gabagool 50 times.
I
It was
can
like,
imagine.
What is this?
Calm down.
WWE trying to convince everyone that Lesnar does not care, Reigns new champ. Okay, explain that one, Mike.
So, right? So
Why you don't like what happened?
all
this
these
week?
anti-Lesnar.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
with
but that's.
Heyman.
I mean, can you just shove it down our throats now? It's like, okay, so everybody, the whole mantra is going around that Lesnar's the champ, and we're sick and tired of him. You even say it. I'm sick and tired of him.
I was
Nah,
actually
you-
6 weeks ahead of
I
everybody
think you.
else.
I think you did on 5 minutes of the Pharoah,
In
right? It's
Pharoah
like,
fashion. Yep.
So now let's just try to carry it over and have him not like act like he doesn't care,
Yeah,
which he
but
probably really doesn't.
You know what? Not for nothing. It totally worked. Totally worked. He came across like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be here. I can't stand wrestling. I can't stand the fans. I don't want to go out to the ring. And then when Paul Heyman begged him, his manager since 2002, he begs him, Brock, if you don't go out there, they're going to fire me. As a friend, please go out there. And Lesnar just grabs him and goes, I'm not your friend. Now go do your business. And basically, for the first time ever, puts his hands on the guy who has been his mentor since the very beginning.
And you like that?
I
You
loved it.
you like
I
that
thought it was
storyline?
great. I loved it because I'm now the wheels start spinning. Is Heyman going to turn on Lesnar at SummerSlam, or is this all a ruse? And Heyman helps Lesnar beat Reigns to go into his UFC fight, Universal Champion. So I don't know, but what I do love about it is that it got the seeds going. It got the fan thinking, what's going to happen?
I'm going to
I
tell you
thought
what.
that was
If
good.
the WWE knows what it's doing, they got to keep the strap around Lesnar. Wouldn't you love to see Lesnar go into a UFC heavyweight title fight as a WWE Universal Champion?
I don't see them doing it though, because I can see Vince. I feel Vince's paranoia. It's a cool gamble to take, but I can hear Vince going to himself, "What if Brock loses with my belt in the UFC cage? Fuck that! I'm not taking that chance."
First of all, there's no
I
chance.
can almost see him thinking.
How about
that
you,
way.
Miller, from the outside looking in? It doesn't matter to you? You don't think that's cool?
Oh,
It's a
I
big
hate
chance.
you. I can't stand UFC.
Okay.
I never could. I don't get it. Only because, and I've made this speech before on my show, the thing behind sports, it's short for sportsmanship. In boxing, when you knock someone down, you go to the corner. The referee counts. That's sportsmanship. When you knock someone down and then your next goal is to literally drive his face through the mat, it's not sports to me. That's a
Okay.
blood sport, and I can't stand the sight of it.
You're a pretty
Okay.
smart guy. I like the
I
way
am.
you presented that.
I
Thank
never
you.
realized you were so gentle on the inside. What a guy!
No, I just find it. No, I always
He's so
play
peaceful.
No, I always played ball my whole life, and part of it was taught like you're a sportsman. You're not a
Right.
thug.
Right.
And the fact that I watched one of them, and I was like, Jesus Christ, the guy's knocked out. And the other guy jumps on him and starts dropping elbows on his
Right.
face. I'm like, what are we, outside a bar at 4 a.m? It's not,
Could've
to
been.
me, it's not sports. So those who partake in it are not sportsmen. I have a natural dislike for Lesnar because he's got no mic skills, zero. And I think Heyman's the guy. I think
Heyman's great.
that
He's been his mouthpiece for 15
for
years.
all these years, and it doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything for me. He never has.
Really, I love Lesnar.
To me,
I-
the WWE by keeping a strap on him and getting that match, with
Yes.
and going for the UFC title,
He's gotta win
just
that
makes
fight, though.
he's gonna. Dude, the
I-
guy's
it's
a
still a
legitimate bad.
I agree.
You know what?
I agree.
Listen,
He's a bad man. I agree.
you know, I just think it's the right thing to do.
I don't think Vince is going to have the balls.
but you know, that's what.
I think you may be right. That
I
Roman
will say
Reigns
this,
will,
though.
you know,
I
win
will
the
say
title.
this. I saw a Facebook post from Wayne Coleman, and I won't give it away who Wayne
Superstar
Coleman is.
Graham.
Look it up.
Superstar
did.
Billy Graham.
And Wayne
we'll
just
give it away.
Wayne put on there that he put a picture of Brock from this past Monday's Raw,
Okay.
and was very critical about Brock jumping off the juice. so that he
Okay.
could pass the drug test for UFC. And I was like, holy crap.
That sounds like Superstar.
That's pretty telling of what he thinks of Lesnar. And I happen to like the Superstar very much. I think he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I take, just because he's one of the people at the building blocks of the WWE, and
going back to guys like Superstar Billy Graham and Nikolai Volkov.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So today's wrestling, for example, these guys can't. It just seems like there's no trust in these guys carrying the load.
No.
I mean, just recently
No.
we went to SmackDown, right? And Mella, who's their champion, Carmella, who's known for not being a very good wrestler, very attractive lady who we've
Correct.
discussed wears a full bathing suit, which doesn't show midriff, which is a huge problem
Yeah, you're
in my
man
book.
enough for no belly button.
Yeah,
We got
that's
that.
a problem. We've
Go
discussed
on.
that. They now
Okay.
put Charlotte into the match to make it
Yes.
a three-way against
Yeah.
Becky Lynch, your desire,
Pete's babe.
Pete's
Who
babe.
shows no belly button.
Who shows no belly
She wears a
button.
full bathing suit too.
Disconcerting.
So now you have to.
Mike hates this.
You have to
I
have
don't
a
like
three-way.
it
Everything's got to be
You
a
make
three.
it sound so dirty.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's called a triple threat match.
But it's like,
what's wrong
why
with you?
can't we have these one-on-one matches? Why do we have to have a
That-
triple threat?
You know why? Because the roster is 8 pounds of shit in a 2-pound bag. There's too many wrestlers.
Ratings.
Right.
Yeah, but you know
Right,
what?
and you're right.
why?
Charlotte's there to save the match.
To
Pretty
save
much.
the match.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh my God, can we at least let people, these wrestlers stand on their own?
Let's be honest, and we both know this. Carmella versus Becky Lynch alone at SummerSlam is not sexy enough.
Well, because
Sexy
Mella
enough.
can't carry her
Adding
own.
Charlotte to adding Ric Flair's daughter to the match makes it an attractive match, especially on the billboard.
I think
Hey!
she's terrific, by the way.
Charlotte?
She's
Flair is
fantastic.
Charlotte Flair is
She's
great.
probably the second greatest wrestler,
Oh my God!
women's
There's
wrestler
another
in
chick
history
I
of
wouldn't
the
want to
sport.
fight. That'd be over in a
I think
second. I'd be dead.
she's in great shape.
She is.
She's great on the mic.
She's great,
She's
yes.
got a great look about her, and she is a hell of a worker. She carries so many of those matches
She's
that
great,
it's
just like that.
I couldn't
Yep.
give her any
Only
more
one
credit.
female wrestler,
Hope.
Here we go.
Alexa Bliss,
Here we
is
go.
probably the best.
Oh my
Alexa
God.
Bliss, you know.
In fact, Alexa Bliss is probably the greatest champion in the history of pro
You
wrestling.
gotta stop.
484.
You gotta stop.
484 straight days.
You
Not straight
really,
days. But.
really gotta stop.
All right.
Because,
Do you
the
have a
medication
life-size
is-
poster of her in your
Yeah.
garage someplace?
Dude, I found a
or
cardboard cutout in his trunk.
cardboard cutout.
He's out
in
of
your
his
trunk?
mind.
And there are
Michael.
parts
I
of
was
it
like,
cut out
what's that
too.
bouncing around in the back? And they're what?
There are parts of it cut out too.
Oh
Stay
my
away.
God!
What's the wife
Miller.
say about that?
What'd I
Mike?
say?
Hold on right there.
Michael.
Sorry, Alexa, for those disgusting
Yeah.
comments.
Actually, I'm sorry, Alexa.
That was horrible. Thanks, Steve.
There's a,
Fucking horrible.
We're so
Oh
sorry.
my God. You guys are
Needs to come
terrible.
to
I hate
the
you.
Studio.
Will you be
She
my best
really
friend?
needs to come down.
Mike, you got to tell me about this Macchio story here sometime off
What?
the air.
No. Would
Off
you
the air.
please?
Peter,
He's bringing it up
I'm going to
again.
cut Peter's mic. He mentioned the magic
I know,
word.
it's like, oh
The
my
bad
God.
word.
Why do we
Macho.
have to
Are you
talk about
excited
it?
that
You
my
did
guy-
mention it first.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
did bring it up.
And Pete is
You
a
did.
guest. and
Bottom
so
line, I'll give you the Reader's
Yeah,
Digest
give the
version.
bullet points.
Oh,
Okay.
you can do it off. Off.
No. We're doing it live.
All right.
Monte was in a bagel place with his girlfriend in high school, and his girlfriend got stole by Ralph Macchio on that day in the bagel joint. There it is.
I
Period.
didn't,
Amen.
I didn't know he was from the island. How about
He
small
wasn't
world?
from the island. He was doing his research at the time. He says, I want to steal Monte's girlfriend and torture him
Oh.
forever.
It was hurt. It was hurtful too.
It was hurtful.
I had moments with that girl. When I used to have hair, we used to blow each other's hair out and brush it. It was Pete. It was wonderful.
You did have moments, I guess, huh?
And then
Mike's got
this dirt bag, this piece of trash.
Let me tell you
Ralph
something.
Macchio shows up with his olive oil skin
Ordering his
And his
goddamn
Dago
bagel.
Charm.
and his Dago charm.
Wait, who
Hong Kong
was it?
Phooey.
Was it Johnny Fontana or Ralph Macchio? You can act like a man.
I left stale bagels in his bed.
I left a lock's head in his bed.
I left lox and
Lox in
bagels
his
in his bed.
Sorry, Mike,
Karate
I'll never
Kid
bring it up again.
bastard.
You bastard, you.
And let me tell you something, my friend Macchio. That goddamn crane is totally defensible. You ready? When he did the crane, it's indefensible.
Yeah.
No, it actually is. Watch. Hey, stop. That's
You know what?
annoying.
That's just terrible.
Why
I'm
would
even
you
going to defend
expose your
Macho on
crotch
this.
Anyway? I don't
But he's
get-
standing there like
Bam!
this, and I'm like, what's
Bam!
wrong with Johnny
Right between the
Lawrence?
legs.
Like what? Johnny
Crane
Lawrence
over.
forgot karate that second?
If I was a pro wrestler, I would use the crane.
I would use the crane constantly.
Baron
I
von
do it.
Monte.
I do it to
Here
my
comes
kids all the
here comes
time.
the crane.
And Baron
Right, he's
von
pulling
Monte.
out his butcher bat belt. Oh my God, what's in the belt?
Bitch
All
your brown
sorts of stuff.
nose coming to get
Oh my
you.
freaking God.
Bitch your brown nose
By the
coming
way,
at you.
thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
Thanks for mentioning. I will be
What?
doing appearances as Baron von Monte at
Baron von Monte.
Chico's Smoke Shop in
Chico's,
Brentwood.
thank you, Chico Smoke Shop in Brentwood.
forgot.
With every autograph, you get 1 pack of cigarettes,
That's awesome.
Filter or non?
non-filtered.
Oh wow.
Baron von Monticello.
Camels, here I come. Ha! Oh my God.
Monty's got the claw going.
Great.
If you're lucky enough, we could go in the bathroom together. All right, what else you got?
Boom, boom.
What else you got there, Pharoah?
Mister, I gotta go.
Mister, I got a pee-pee.
Hey, fucko.
Don't interrupt me. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, we got my buddy Baron Corbin beating down Finn Balor clean. 1, 2, 3, no cheating. A little credit for my guy, maybe a little. No, hate him. He's
No,
boring.
but I will.
He's boring.
Hold on, I will give you some credit. Right, so
Go ahead. Credit.
Balor has been a problem.
Balor!
Balor has been a problem of mine, right? Because he's all but 160 pounds.
Would you please?
But wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, he's
you
got-
mentioned it about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That dude's juicing his ass
He's-
off,
yeah.
and he's looking good.
He's
He's
gotten
ripped.
big, man. He's gotten pretty damn big.
and you know, I will
He's
tell you
ripped.
this: we used to have a show on here called Behind the Curtain. Behind the
behind the
Curtain.
curtain.
Behind the curtain?
It's
Right?
my favorite show.
Probably the most uncomfortable I've ever felt because there was one kid on there that's like, he said he wanted to eat his dinner off of Finn Balor's abs.
That's true.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I felt I was like
felt
dirty.
weird.
I felt dirty.
I was
really weird.
dirty.
Yeah.
That's
dirty.
crazy. That's a little crazy.
It's out of control. This is pro
But
wrestling.
even if you're gay, that's a little lame. Even if you're gay, that's crazy. Like, no, I'm being honest. Like,
dude,
all right,
no,
like
Steve.
I've never said like, wow, there's an attractive girl. I'd like to eat dinner off her shoulder. It doesn't make sense to me.
you know, speaking of that, Jerry, how do you feel about public displays of affection?
Hate 'em.
Whether it be man on man, man on woman,
Oh, this
woman
is
on
gonna
woman,
be good.
Hate
Here we
'em.
go.
man on dog, woman on
Man
dog.
on dog.
It doesn't bother me.
Why?
At all.
So you're at a bar, you're hanging out. I'm not saying you're at a bar.
And the dog walks in.
And
Oh,
this-
I'll go right up to the doggy and give the doggy a big
no,
wet
but
kiss.
no, but like you're at a bar or whatever, and you're hanging out, you're having a good time, and these two
Yes.
people are tongue kissing each other.
Hate it.
like crazy. You're
Doesn't
okay with it?
bother me.
Really?
I can't stand it
Man
Man and
anymore.
woman, or
Man,
Doesn't
man,
matter.
woman,
I
it
don't
don't
care.
matter, right?
It doesn't
Doesn't
faze
matter.
me. Does not
I
faze
just
me.
saw
You're
that
not
the other
taking
day.
away from
What do
my
you think,
meal.
Pete?
You don't take away from my meal. Trust me.
There you go.
at this
It
point in my
bothers
life
me.
right now,
I'm a
Mike, I'm a
foodie.
little
I like
jealous
to
of anybody getting any.
What was that,
Really?
Pete?
Oh, well,
What was
okay.
that? Let me get Pete's take again. What was that?
Well, I'm at this point in my life, I'm a little jealous of anybody getting anything right now.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Me, I find
But
it grotesque.
I'm envious, not jealous.
I got you.
I'll
don't
tell you
care
what,
either way,
it's
whatever.
effing annoying.
Thank you.
I can't stand it.
Thank you.
It's like just take your shit and like
Get
holding
a
hands
room.
should be like the that's it.
No, you see
Don't you
people
show
arm in
your
arm,
wife-
I get it.
Arm in arm, okay,
Arm in
yeah.
arm, I get it. But like, you're sitting in
Well,
a
you guys are very
restaurant.
tolerant. Go
You know
on,
what I
what else is
can't?
good?
You know what I can't
No, my
stand?
boyfriend kisses me on the head.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Don't
always
don't
give
you
this-
show
well,
public
these fall a lot
displays of
taller.
affection to your wife
Negative.
occasionally?
What happened?
We don't even show public displays of affection in our house.
In
much
private.
less in privacy, in the dark.
Let me
Well-
tell you. You know what the most
Wow.
irritating
Well,
thing
then
is
you-
at a restaurant?
Go ahead.
Is when some jackass proposes to his girlfriend
Oh,
and the
how
whole
annoying.
freaking place stops and it's like I'm having dinner.
I got one
Like,
over. We were at the Coliseum, right? We were invited
on
in.
the scoreboard?
And some clown decides he's gonna, in the middle of a wrestling
Of a
match,
wrestling
of a
match.
wrestling match,
Right.
and not even a good
Dick.
wrestling match, to ask his wife to.
Do you
Who
remember,
was it?
Do you remember the chant that it caused?
Yeah, what was it?
Just say no.
Yeah, that's
Just
right,
say
that's
no.
right, yeah.
That's hilarious. I was like, oh, this is great. I mean, you gotta think this.
I
one
see
through.
people do that at ball
Yeah.
games. Like, oh look, I'm on the scoreboard. I'm gonna ask her to marry me. I'm like, just get bent.
Yeah,
Go
really.
away.
It's
Get
annoying.
bent.
I know. I'm in like
I
third
haven't heard
grade
that
now.
Since, you know,
I'm like,
It
just
is-
shut up
it
and
is
go
a bit
away.
annoying.
that's great, but I do
Yeah.
use the word mint. So get bent. Yeah, all
I
right.
use
Those words
I use
should
that
never
one.
go out of
They should
vogue.
Absolutely not.
But anything worse than public displays of affection is Billy from the Plumbers
what?
kissing anything. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that?
What
No.
are you
Oh my
doing?
God.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's,
I would throw up.
Be honest with
He's
you,
got
Mike.
hair all over his arms. He looks like a wolf.
He's gonna have a special plunger with your name on it next week.
Oh,
How you doing there, Monte? Oh, it'd be great. It'd be great.
Now that's funny.
I don't know how you.
Now
I don't know
that's
how
funny.
you feel about Kevin Owens is causing a bit of a stir with Strowman. Strowman is one dumb character.
Yeah.
Because it seems like every week the guy's the size of a house. He's more powerful than Brock Lesnar. He's clearly an unstoppable force, and he's earned the Money in the Bank briefcase, which means at some point, if he wants to, at any time, he can cash in the briefcase for a shot at the world title. But yet every week, this guy finds a way to lose. Like Kevin Owens made him look like an idiot. He starts chasing Kevin Owens around the ring in a match that's not even involving Kevin Owens, and he gets his ass counted out.
I'm concerned for you for this
What?
one.
You're
fact.
concerned for me?
You've
for
been
one
waiting.
fact?
You've been waiting
Should
for
be concerned
Strowman
for-
to become champion,
Yes.
and I think it's in jeopardy. I think
I
we're
think it's
gonna.
always been in
I think we're
jeopardy.
gonna get a screw job deal where
How does he
possibly
not cash
Reigns.
in?
I think somehow they're gonna have a match
Okay.
that the winner gets the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, that's Kevin Owens. They are having that match.
yeah, and Kevin Owens is gonna get it, and there's your screw job, and that's gonna
Very
suck.
interesting. But you know what's weird? I know I'm probably going to get hated for this, but that's fine. I'm so down with
After
that.
all months and
I am-
months
listen,
and months
you
and months.
know, but you know, at the end, how am I with my wrestlers? Okay, my favorite ones. Okay, sometimes, and this happens to you too. And this didn't happen back in the day, but nowadays, faces and heels seem to change so much that you can have a couple of your favorite guys wind up facing each other. So in this case, this is what I'm dealing with. I love Braun Strowman. I love Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens more. I want Kevin Owens to get the briefcase from him, and I want Kevin Owens to become champion. Why? Because I love Kevin Owens. He's the best worker on the squad. He puts his body, and you know what kind of worker he is. You saw how he was during the commercial breaks live at the Coliseum.
Sure.
The guy was working when the cameras weren't on. This guy gives a shit. He deserves the belt. So, lesser of two evils. I got to go with Kevin. It sucks for Braun, but at some point, Braun's going to win the belt. Whether he cashes in or Kevin takes it away, eventually Braun Strowman's going to hold
What date
that
is
belt.
what date is SummerSlam?
I can't remember offhand, but it's coming very
A
soon.
couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
going
getting
with
there.
this. I'm going with Lesnar's
Almost
going to
there.
beat Reigns again.
Okay.
Now, again, this wouldn't
my
make sense
God.
because if they're going to sell
I can't.
DVDs, if they're going to sell DVDs and you're going to sell that feud on a DVD, sooner or later Reigns has to win. But I truly believe that Lesnar's going to win, and the shocking ending will be that your boy will come in with the briefcase that he freshly wins at SummerSlam, and he'll lose to Lesnar also.
You know what? That would be very interesting. That would also allow Lesnar to go into UFC with the belt, so I can see that. Will they be see-through? Will they be obvious and have Strowman cash in after Reigns somehow miraculously pins Lesnar? So this way Lesnar does not get pinned by Reigns. I mean, by, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are they going to do there?
I think it's Lesnar all the way. I'm hoping anyway because if Reigns finally gets,
Strowman
or is it
could-
going to be Reigns wins the belt and then you're gonna?
Strowman could do what Rollins did years ago and interject himself in the middle of the match. Remember what Rollins did?
Strowman's not going to have that briefcase, man. I'm telling you,
boy.
it's going to be fucked up.
Well, if he somehow
Jerry, I'll tell you
successfully
one
beats
thing
Kevin
you're
that
going to
night,
get
he'll still
Tuesday
have it.
is passion. This guy's got passion. We had Greg the Hammer Valentine in studio, which
Yeah.
happens to be the Pharaoh's favorite
My
wrestler.
all-time favorite.
Great
yeah.
interview,
Hall of
too.
Famer, legend, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
He actually ejaculated.
Would you
while
stop?
sitting
There he
there.
goes
Oh
again, embellishing.
God.
You bullshit artist. What are you from Shamingdale? You got a ponytail?
Remember
You're so full of
350
shit,
days we're in the
flying
middle of
your
the
eyes.
thing. He dropped all. He things fell off the table. once the
Yeah, well,
hammer
you
was
know,
on.
the whole setup was basically
Midlife crisis,
rigged
I think.
for that.
I don't know.
But my midlife crisis.
No, yeah.
His midlife.
I don't have a
crisis.
midlife crisis,
He's
dude.
already-
I'm old and
he's
I know
already
it.
past
Yeah,
the
I am
midlife
too.
crisis.
I'm
Until
like-
people like Steve, you having a midlife
Oh
crisis?
my God,
Really?
that was 17
You know,
exits back.
I got to
What
tell
are
you something.
talking
I heard
about?
you guys on In the Crowd, which was awesome, and you guys were talking about going to clubs.
It's hilarious.
And I got to tell you, so I went to San Antonio for the Final Four.
Yes.
And, me and a friend were there, and we went to a club with a bunch of young kids, and I felt so out of place. I was like, time to go back to the hotel room.
Well, like I said on the
I
show
flew
today,
around you guys.
a couple
Really?
a couple of
You're
years
younger
ago,
than us.
a couple of years ago, one of my buddies came up to me and he's like, "Hey, Steve, blah blah blah. We're going to this club. It's got dropping great beats in Manhattan. We're going Friday night." I was like, "Oh, let me check my planner." I take out my day planner. I open it up. I go, "That's a great idea for 1988." Like my time's over. No, my thing honestly with that is I have my time. It's time to let the kids have their time.
Yeah.
Let them go. That's their place.
Yeah, you get to a point where it's creepy because you're just like staring because you have nothing to do because you're like, I'm out of place. And then they're like, look at that old guy staring at me.
Can I have a bourbon and Diet Coke? I can't have the sugars.
You know,
Can I have a water, please?
This may sound hilarious. I can clearly remember the very last time I decided to try to be young. I was 32. That gives you an idea of how long ago this was. I was
a long time ago,
I was
man.
32, and me and my buddy, we were going to go drinking all night. We had this plan. It was like, yeah, we're going to go out. We're going to go drinking.
Yeah.
We're going to kick ass. Dude, we were passed out before midnight.
Dude.
And I realized, I'm like, it's over. It's
Dude, the
over.
last time I did that,
I'm not doing
I was at a
anything.
wedding. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. I don't got to drive.
Party.
I'm going to kick ass this
Flat.
wedding.
Good
I
night.
got hammered, right? I wake up on the couch with my suit on the next morning,
There you
and
go.
I'm like, this is going to take me 3 days to
Right.
get over
Right.
now. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I've done it again since because I'm stupid. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to say it was a great decision.
This just
Nice,
happened to
you're
me. So
persistent.
I had vacation like 2 years,
Yes.
the place, right? So I had vacation like 2 years. So the first day of vacation, my daughter, my wife was sitting by the pool and with her friend, and I decided to drink 2 bottles of Fireball.
Fireball.
I blacked out and woke up on the couch. It's like I can't hang. I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, that's pure sugar.
Yeah.
But it's
I
good.
can't have the sugars.
diabetes.
My diabetes will run
Are you 50
rampant.
years old
Jimmy, what do you
yet?
got?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe versus AJ, man. This one I'm a little excited about.
Which
Are you
one?
Really?
Very
Samoa
excited.
Joe is
I
going to
think
be
it's all
challenging
scripted.
AJ Styles for the belt at SummerSlam, and I think it's great. But why are you? You're actually psyched. You usually don't like Joe. What happened?
It's change. I think they could have a great match.
Yeah,
I'm
they will have a great
I'm
match.
pretty excited, and I'm not as excited. You put on the run sheet today. Ambrose returning. Yeah, thank you, Miller.
Oh my God.
Thank
You know what I can't do anymore?
What?
There's 2 things I can't. Actually, 3. Ambrose coming back.
Okay.
Is just as tired as it gets. The Rollins with Drew McIntyre
And
with
Dolph Ziggler?
with Ziggler running in every time it's on television.
That's great. What's
It's
the problem?
no, let them
Here come
fight.
the bad guys.
Let
cheat,
them-
cheat. What's the problem?
And the whole thing with Elias, you got to stop with Bobby Lashley and
Oh
Elias.
my God!
I
Did
can't.
you see what? Steve,
That was the worst.
Did you see it?
I did.
Did you
It
see him
was-
singing?
It was
Oh
it
my
was
God,
beyond
Mike,
stupid.
What are they doing to Bobby Lashley?
What are they doing to Elias?
Oh my God!
Elias could be a good worker if they'd let him.
By the way, I got to give
Oh.
the WWE credit for one
Wow.
thing.
Yes.
Elias's album is on iTunes for about $2.99.
Have you heard it?
It is the worst piece of shit you could ever listen to.
Oh my God!
But
that's so
there's
sold.
something-
It's sold a
because a
fortune.
wrestling fan goes $2.99.
right,
I'm gonna
I'll
buy
take it. It's
this.
an LP too. It's not
I'll
an EP.
take a chance.
I'll take for $2.99. Why not download it? It's on the top 10.
We should
is the
download
wor-
it and play the whole thing.
Let me tell you
Oh,
something.
no,
It's
please
maybe the
don't.
worst piece.
You
of
know
shit
when we
ever.
should do it?
Bad.
Wednesday
Oh,
at
that
9:30.
Oh, that's a great. It'll get more views.
You know what we did once to the other station that no longer exists? They were doing a live Sunday morning show, right?
Yeah.
And me and Jim were in the studio, like waiting for Evan to show up. And we're like, let's do something funny. So we played Beatles songs and put up a video of just that Beatles cover. And we outdrew it by like
Nice.
3,000 more
That's
viewers.
hilarious.
It was like,
That's hilarious.
thank you.
I had the plumbers on my show one
Oh, dear.
time, and we decided to phone in to
Yep.
his station, and we took all the cameras, pointed it at the screen, and the plumbers went off on him.
That is hilarious.
I gotta find that.
That
I gotta
is
find it. It is hysterical.
hilarious.
Hey Monte, pull my finger. He's the best.
Brian versus The Miz. We've been waiting this a long time.
Yeah, but we're not getting it yet because the Miz basically told Brian, "Screw you and your challenge for SummerSlam." Obviously they will get that hammered out at some point, and they will have that match. But as of right now, F you, Daniel Bryan.
Are you catching Miz's new show on Tuesday nights?
Are you serious? I got to make sure my wife catches
Miller's
it.
shaking his head.
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
I'm not doing
My
it.
wife will probably dig that show. But no.
I can't do reality shows anymore. It's too much. I don't care what it is. It's
You've
just
got
like
enough.
I can't.
Besides, it's not real anyway.
It's not real. No, if we did a reality show around this station, it would be hysterical.
You could have a reality story.
What a collection.
You ain't kidding. What does Evan always say? The most eclectic group ever?
Or eclectic, either way.
Oh, there. Thanks for
Not the epileptic, the eclectic.
Thanks for correcting my English on live television.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The most electric show anywhere.
Fucking Miller, man. I'll tell you.
You gotta love me, though. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna shred him.
Your teeth were
that's
white as
not
heck
right.
before chemo.
What's that?
Your teeth were white as hell before chemo.
I know, right?
I
That's
can't
terrible.
believe I could joke with him.
Look at him
about
coming to
this.
my defense.
But I love that line. It's your line.
What?
You can trademark that.
My
if you
teeth
want.
were white
Yeah.
before
It's
chemo.
hilarious.
What am I gonna do?
You guys are so mean. You make
What
fun
am I
of
gonna do?
everything. I love you.
I'm gonna have
I love you all.
I'm gonna have the nicest teeth of any corpse. Wow, he looks skinny, but
Wait a
Jesus, his teeth made it.
Wow, look at those
I
teeth.
hope those teeth are fake.
Wow, his hair.
Look at that hair and that
I got
teeth.
nice hair. I do.
You do.
I got nice hair.
But
What do
I
I
heard your
do? I'm
teeth are
gonna
fake.
lie.
Your
No,
teeth
my
are fake.
teeth aren't fake.
They're fake.
These puppies ain't going
Everything
anywhere.
is fake.
These yellow chiclets ain't going.
Oh my
Yellow
God!
chiclets
help
ain't going
us all.
anywhere, my man.
Nice. Okay. Holy chewable tablets.
All right, so Nakamura. Who's he facing at SummerSlam? What's going on there? You got this whole Randy Orton, Hardy, Nakamura.
I'm not. This is unusual for me because it seems like Nakamura has become Randy Orton's servant of some kind. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening here,
Yeah.
but Randy Orton has come back more psychotic than ever, and it seems like with a mere look, he Charles Manson's Nakamura into doing his bidding. This is really weird. I don't know where this is going. Jeff Hardy has been getting murdered. We know that that's going on. I don't know if they're talking about letting Jeff Hardy go and Matt Hardy. I don't even know what that's all about.
I will tell you this. I
But,
just wish Randy Orton would fucking retire.
Would you
already, dude.
please? Why?
I've had it
Why?
because I've had it.
You don't like him as a bad guy? I think
He
he's a good bad
sucks.
guy.
He
He's a bad
sucks.
good guy.
Maybe he didn't make enough money yet.
Oh, he made enough.
God, this
He
guy
made
is-
enough money.
this
That guy.
is suffocating in money. No, Randy's got plenty.
He's like watching paint dry. We've said this a million
I
times.
know you feel
already.
that way. I get it. There are
It's
others
like,
who feel that
here he
way.
comes on. It's time. It's Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton.
Up, he's gonna RKO.
Oh, he's going to do the
Okay.
RKO. Oh,
That's
great.
right.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks for showing up,
Thanks for
Randy.
being
Oh
here.
my God.
Oh,
Randy.
Randy. Oh, my God. Just,
Getting murdered. How about the bar returning? Were you excited for Sheamus and Cesaro? Or
Yes,
Yeah.
whoa, you guys
Yes.
have it at.
I am.
Okay, you like Sheamus? What is it?
I
An
do.
Irish thing?
It's an Irish thing, and I
Oh,
like the
okay.
Cesaro character. He's the Swiss strongman.
Yeah,
Let him
alright.
go. Let him spin someone around.
Well, they're going to face, I think, the New Day next week to get a shot at the belts. The Bludgeon Brothers. I
The
know,
Bludgeon
I can't get
Brothers.
The New Day. Oh my God.
New Day. I don't get it anymore. And the thing is, the three of them apart are decent workers.
Yeah, they are.
Especially Kofi Kingston and Big E.
Kofi's
Big E
fast.
could be a
Kofi's
good
fast.
worker.
Big E could be a world champion.
Thank you.
Well,
And-
that's
You know
and
what? You know what?
That's
For a
for
guy that
sure.
doesn't watch wrestling, you certainly
I
have
do
some good
watch now.
opinions.
I do watch now because I'm now just
You know,
devoid
Monte
of
and
any
Pharoah
social
calling
life.
for Big E to go to singles competition and
Okay.
be a world
I'm
champion.
not calling for the
I'm
title.
calling for
I'm
it.
calling for a
I call-
Miller is calling for it.
It would be cool if he won an Intercontinental belt, maybe. You know, a world title. I don't see that. They'd have to build him up first and see how that goes.
The writing's got to improve.
And by the way,
Yes.
I know
And
you guys are sitting there poo-pooing Dean Ambrose, but I think he is coming back very soon because Rollins keeps getting ganged up on. Roman Reigns is busy with his deal with Lesnar, and I feel that Dean Ambrose should be here any second.
Do you know what I call the Dean Ambrose? I call him the poor man Stone Cold Steve
That's
Austin.
rough, but I can.
No
That's-
muscles, stupid ass tank top,
Would you
no mic
please?
skills, but he's losing his
he's
hair.
good.
But he doesn't
He-
have it completely.
And he's
gone.
losing his hair, and he literally throws the worst punches of any
that's-
wrestler
thank
ever.
you so much.
That'll
I
give
mean,
you.
And he's got
that's
the
like-
worst comb over of all time too. It's like, dude, stop combing your hair over.
I think
Do what
comb
Corbin
over.
did.
I think comb overs are awesome. Like
you really?
if I was going bald, I would grow like the biggest comb over ever. I'd wear it like a turban, and I drive with the top down to make sure it was standing up.
Can I ask
and
you a
all that.
question?
Yes.
You've got a great head of hair.
Yes, sir.
And it seems to grow fairly fast.
Yes, it does.
Why don't you grow some ponytails and then, like, as they grow into ponytails, cut them?
Again, to repeat to repeat what I said before,
Yeah.
I looked at my planner and it is not 1988 anymore. So it's gone. I'll take the members only jacket out of mothballs too.
You know what really sucks? I was planning on growing my hair long, and now I'm afraid of like.
No, but you could grow your
ponytail.
but you could grow your hair long. Like Savali's got long hair.
Savali's-
No, I'm talking.
He doesn't put a ponytail in.
Speaking of Jim, our fearless leader.
Jimbo!
Jim is going in for surgery tomorrow.
Yes.
We want to wish him the best
Absolutely,
of luck and
Jimbo.
prayers and a speedy recovery. You know, Jim, you're the guy that makes this place run, and
Ouch.
your head. Well,
Please.
Ouch.
no, Miller.
I'm
We
kidding.
love
I'm
having you
joking.
here.
Yeah, we love Miller.
I'm
You're like
joking.
the fucking crabs.
What?
Ouch!
Yourself.
I
I'm doing
just got
fine over
hit.
here. What's going on?
Wow,
No,
Monte
I like
Leone.
Miller. He's all right.
He's a pipe bomb.
I just wanted to know you that Miss Runyon asked me if I could maybe do a show with her.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did. It's called Out of the Crowd,
Oh, that's not
Out of
nice.
the crowd.
meaning Miller out.
I heard there was a really bad show we canceled before it even came on the air. The Shin Crowd. What the fuck was that?
Come on, let's not such
Shin
regulars.
Crowd. You guys mentioned it to me. I don't know what's going on. What are you gonna do? Pick on me? Fuck you.
What is
the fuck out of here?
Look at Pharoah. I
don't
love
care
when
this
Pharoah
happened.
gets.
This is
Eat
what
up.
Jerry's gonna get Tuesday. His
I
partner
love-
Bart's like this. His
Kick
partner
ass.
Bart's
What are
like
you talking
really
about?
like this quiet, mousy guy.
No, he's not. What are you, mousy? Fuck, listen to Felix, the brat over here. Get the fuck out of here. What you meant to say was the
Wow.
guy's class is what you meant to say.
Nice.
Good
I like
Lord.
when the Pharoah
Mousy,
gets.
What is Mousy?
Is Mousy a
Mighty
bad
Mouse was a
description?
bad motherfucker. Who are you talking
He's
about?
just like he's quiet. He's just
Okay, he's
soft-spoken.
Mighty Mouse was a cartoon.
He's not a mouse.
And you're like this,
George
you're
Harrison
this
the mouse?
giant
What's wrong with you?
personality. You're this huge personality.
Oh my God! Holy lopsided, Robin. What's going on here?
Look what I did. Look what I started.
Is
Oh,
Mousy
this is
bad?
terrible.
No.
Oh, my
This might be the
Lord.
end of Monte and the Pharaoh.
No.
my
Oh,
God.
no,
It's a
we're not,
nasty
we're not doing
fucking
another
mind.
friggin' farewell show. I'm not. That's it.
Yeah. I'm sitting at home.
I will
going,
not run the
what?
board.
So anyway, I was giving this hard.
Wait a minute, my show's over?
What the fuck are you guys talking
What just
about?
happened?
Oh my God! Give me a break.
Listen, Jim, we're wishing you the best of luck. Everything
That's
will
what we were.
everything will be well. And just remember, before they put you under the anesthesia, if something was to go wrong, you got fucking Miller behind the board, and this whole fucking place will collapse.
This
so
will collapse.
Stay strong, because we need you back. We need to be able to play our music.
I'm actually like hurt.
Oh, come on!
Here we go.
Oh,
Here
you know
we
what?
go.
You never know.
What? Do I not laugh when tickled? Do I not cry when hit with a light bulb?
If thou-
What?
if
I do
thou-
not have feelings, sir?
If thou picketh me, do I not bleed? What the frick?
If thou kick me in the nuts, does thou not vomit?
Oh my God!
I am a man without feelings.
Oh
Bart,
man!
I want to apologize. I didn't mean to call you mousy.
First of all, Bart's gonna come with a special wonton soup for you. First of all, be like, yeah, I got Chinese for you, bro.
Wait a minute. Is Mousy a bad?
It depends on who you're talking about.
He's a real.
I think
He's
that's
a.
horrendous.
It's horrendous.
That's horrendous.
No,
Jerry and
I know what
Mousy,
I
horrendous.
I know
You are
what.
such a problem.
You know when a girl
love
has
setting
like
fires.
That brown hair.
Yeah.
The girl has like that brown
Fire
hair.
starter
And
over
it's
here.
just brown hair.
Right.
And it's boring, unlike
Unlike yours.
Unlike
Yes.
blue,
it's teal.
teal. Well, it's
Teal.
blue.
Get
Teal.
this straight. Get it straight.
As long as it's not
But
black like the pizza I had.
mousy, brown.
Burn.
Oh.
Boring.
Oh, so boring and mousy are the same?
Yes.
Oh, let me go to the
Mousy,
writer.
brown.
Oh, king of all writing.
Oh, king of prose will say that Mousy's probably bad. Would probably be a bad thing to call
All right,
a
so I
guy.
got to do another thing. When
Meek.
we have this.
You would say that Bart.
I don't wanna say he's meek,
No,
he's
no,
worse
has
than
a
mousy.
meek, has a meek
I'm
air
gonna wind up
about him,
smacking
even
everyone
though
in
he's
the
not
What is
meek.
going on here?
He has a very low key.
Yes, low key. He's
Low
a
key
very
vibe about it.
low-key,
Why don't,
calm.
why don't you ask the guy who's known him for 25 years? He's
Well-
basically like a George Harrison, who I respect. The
That's
hell
what
out
I
of.
mean, low
He's
key.
very reserved. He's incredibly
Very low key.
Reserved is what I was
Very
getting at.
intelligent.
Well, you called him Mousy
Great
and
writer.
meek.
You know what?
Because
Honestly,
this guy is a firecracker.
I couldn't even say
You
the word
should hear what he-
epileptic. So how am I going to say
You should hear
reserved?
what he calls me
Eclectic.
off the air. I mean, what are you
Eclectic.
kidding me?
Eclectic.
Let's try it again. Eclectic.
There you go. It's,
Very
So
good.
you see, you expect me to know reserved? A
Listen.
mousy is what came.
Listen,
I swear to
not-
Christ, I feel like
I'm
the
not-
miracle worker here with
not-
Ellen Keller.
I'm not saying that he looks for trouble, but in the middle of the night, I get phone calls. Dick, click. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, he's bored. This is Mike. You know, he thinks about it. He's like, who can I fuck with next? You know,
I'm
that's
not
pretty much
fucking
it.
with
you
him.
Fuck with everybody.
I am so excited for Tuesday night. You cannot
That's
believe
right.
it, dude.
That's right.
All right, we're about to wrap this up. So
We are? Okay.
Yeah, time up.
Fine.
Miller's been here since noon.
Miller's exhausted.
That's true.
Miller hasn't eaten since noon.
So do me a favor. Give me and my partner up. Oh, no. What is that?
It is not
That's
the
Pete.
eyes of the
Oh,
cat.
my God. For a second,
You know,
I
real
thought
quick,
that was
Pete reminds me of the guys in church that don't turn their phone off.
Yeah.
That annoys the shit out of me.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Go to church?
Now he's upset.
Now
Oh,
you,
my
You go to
God.
church?
I go to
Yes, I
church.
do.
Do you believe that?
I do
You
go
go
to
to
church.
church too?
I do.
Holy shit.
Catholic schoolboy. Never got out of the habit.
So anyway,
he starts fires.
Tuesday
Oh,
night.
easy.
Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7
yeah.
o'clock Tuesday night, Wisteria Hall. I say Wisteria Way because it reminds me of a girlfriend of mine that lived on Wisteria Way. So, all right.
Bagel face.
No, different girl.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Pat Morita didn't
No,
steal
that's
that
why
one.
there's nothing happening.
Anyway.
behind me.
Pat
Wisteria
Marina.
Hall
Arnold.
will be
See,
performing
Thomas Howell stole her.
live on Chasing Fruit Loops, which is a great show.
Thank you.
I will tell you, if you haven't caught Wisteria Hall's EP, it is incredible.
Yes.
The songs are nothing but hits from 1 to 10.
Yep.
I knew it was 10.
10 hits.
In fact, I think I know the words more than the
10.
Pharoah does.
It's like a greatest hits
this
album.
I
that's-
am so excited for these two to get into studio live and perform.
Yes.
This is going to be an incredible show.
I can't
Look,
wait.
The Pharaoh's got a big following anyway, and now bringing the
Now
band
it's
out,
gonna go
it's gonna
crazy.
go crazy. It's going to go crazy.
We're going to wind up losing the Pharoah to some big media outlet.
You think so?
Listen,
Yes.
you have to beat Joe Caravella right now has the most hits on any of the shows that I've ever done, over 13,000. So now it's
Sweet.
on you.
Oh, no pressure.
It's
No
on
pressure.
You.
That's all good.
You got it handled.
Well, I'm telling you what.
And I just got
think
a message from a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer who says, I can't wait to watch. He loves
That
new
Tommy?
talent. No, Gene Cornish of the
Oh, my
Rascals.
Lord.
Says, I
Pressure.
can't wait to watch
Pressure.
because I love new
Pressure.
talent.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm more than excited, and let's not forget prayers to Jim Savelli out there, and we'll join you
Whoa.
next week, next Thursday, 8:05 to 9 p.m. for the Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. And let's not forget Lanny Poffo in studio on the 23rd and Val Venus on the 26th. I want to thank you all again for tuning in. I want to thank Pete for joining. I want to thank Jerry from Chasing Fruit Loops for joining us. And with all seriousness, Mr. Miller, I love when you're in studio.
Thank you.
Thank
I love
you
being here.
for giving us another
Great.
opportunity to enjoy and do our thing.
All
Have a
right,
good night.
folks, we are out.
Later.